There's all sorts of people who write books on the 10 skills of millionaires, the 10 ways of thinking like a millionaire, the 10 this, the 10 that. It's all a lie. Humans are different from each other. There are no two humans who are exactly the same. There are humans who share experiences together. There are humans who live in the same area, and therefore their experience and their way of looking at things might be tailored like that. But no two humans are exactly the same. No two millionaires are exactly the same. If that were the case, there wouldn't be any millionaires. They'd all be billionaires, right? Every single one of them would be billionaires. Because if it was a case that you had 10 characteristics of all millionaires, then why stop at $1 million? Why stop at $50 million? Why even stop at $900 million? They would all be billionaires. But I'm going to try and give you just a few things that I have observed. And it just doesn't apply to millionaires. It applies to almost anybody learning a skill. And some of you don't understand that going into business is a skill. It's just something you learn. Being an entrepreneur is a skill. It's something you learn. The very first thing is failing. Who are the successful people that we consider in life? Inventors, millionaires, big business, right? They're all successful. World star athletes, top singers, top dancers, top musicians. They all fail. And when I say they fail, if you find a person who says that they didn't fail, they're lying or they're discounting their entire experience. That would mean that the very first time that they got on the microphone, that a Hollywood producer walked by and got them. Even look at the child stars, right? That everybody talks about in Hollywood. They go to audition. There's a whole bunch of failure there. Tom Cruise, Harrison Ford, all said that they failed and failed a lot, hundreds of times. Went to audition after audition. Anita Baker was told that she would never amount to anything. She doesn't have a good voice. She can't sing. She's ugly. She's too black. And when she came out with her album, she blew everybody away. People in business, they write their biographies and they say point blank, I failed a lot. It became a habit of failure. But I knew, because John down the road was successful at the very exact same thing, I knew that it was possible. So after I failed, I got right back up and did it again. This nanny state that we have here in the United States that teaches you that failure is bad and that failure is so evil that you should never experience it is stupid. When you were learning to ride a bike, did you not fail? Did you have training wheels on your bike? Did somebody hold the bike for you the whole time? If they did, you didn't learn anything, because it is that fear of failure, and I mean a good fear, that you channel into creating the muscles that are going to allow you to get onto a bike and stabilize yourself. That's what's going on. When you're wobbling, your body is creating these muscles and making them stronger in places that you ordinarily do not use so that you can ride the bike. That is the quote unquote learning how to ride a bike. There is no learning to riding a bike. You know that you put your foot on the pedal and it goes in a circle. That's the extent of learning. Being able to ride a bike is your body is creating and empowering muscles that you don't normally use. That's what's going on. And that's what goes on in business. There are a lot of people that ask me, how do I start a business? How do I just start a business? Start a business and fail. Number 2, read books. There's so many people who say, I read thousands of books. 999 of those books were horrible. And then the one last book was awesome and I saw the light. That's a lie. All of these books that people write, you are learning from every single one of the books, all of them, even the ones who are trying to scam you. Here, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about real estate. It's a scam. It's obviously a scam, but in the material is information. And your brain is a magical thing, absorbs the information so that when you go to the next scam and the next scam and the next scam, By the time that you get to the 10th thing, first of all, you already know as much as the guy writing the book. You actually know the techniques. You know the forms that you need to fill out. You know the regulations that you need to jump through to get where you're going. I have a story of a group of guys, entrepreneurs, who took in over $200 million in funding for their project. They said, we know what we're going to do. We have this project. And they said, after 11 months of doing that project, they learned by all of the stuff that they were doing and playing with all of these, $100 million or whatever it was. And then they completely changed course and took off. And they said, had we not done that 11 months of complete going in the wrong direction, we wouldn't have this fantastic success. Of course, then they turned around and gave all of the money back, plus interest, plus whatever they had negotiated for the funding, to all of their investors. You need these things. So you need to do it first. Just do it, right? Nike's telling you, just do it, right? That's what Nike's saying about sports. Just do it. I'm telling you that about business. Just do it. Whatever you think that you want to do, just do it. Just start it right now, right today, or tomorrow if it's nighttime where you are. Start doing it tomorrow. Just wake up, do it. Also, read books about it. Make that your job. Read books. If you don't want to go buy the books and sit in your home, you can go to the library. And most of the books you'll find, even the library will even purchase the book for you so you can have it to check out of the library. And if you have a good library, you can take the book and read it in the library. It forces you to concentrate on the book because there's nothing else to do in the library, right? So read the books and read bad books. There's information in everything. Like I said, the guy who said that he read 1,000 books and 999 were wrong. No, he's lying. By the time he got to that 1,000th book, he already knew the entire system, so that when he read a good book, everything clicked into place. That's how it works. That's why I really hate the way we do this, and that's why our education is so terrible. We should be having the people who have retired in the field teaching, not somebody who goes to school to learn how to teach. That is a terrible system. The only thing that a person who went to school to learn how to teach can tell you is how to get a job teaching other people how to teach. That's what they know. They're not captains of industry. They're not scientists. They're not biologists. They're teachers. That's why I think we should go back to the apprentice system and everything. But corporate America doesn't want it, so we cut it off, which is silly because corporate America is like 1/100th of the marketplace. Not everything is big business. They have a lot of money, but they're a very small, tiny minority of the actual entire industrial complex, market complex, financial. They're a tiny minority of it. They said no more apprenticeship. We don't want, and they said that's good business. Let's create these schools that can give out certificates so that all we have to do is look at the certificate and know that the person has a basic understanding of the market, of the industry. And that's all you really get when you go to college. You only get a certificate. That's all you're doing. You're certifying that you know the very basics of something. It's much better to go to the job and do it every day, day in, day out, right? Learning on the job is far more educational than sitting in a classroom and then talking about stuff that you'll never use in your job. And lastly, you have to know how to sell yourself. Now, why is that a key? It's a key factor. Why is that important? Because at some point, if you're going to actually do a business, you're going to look for funding from investors. Joe's Crab Shack at some point is going to want to expand to Joe's Crab Shack number 2. And he has to be able to sit and stand in front of a group of investors and say, I have a good business. I think you should invest in it. And here's how you're going to make money at it. And he has to be able to do that and do that a lot, because the first 50 investors are going to say no, right? If there's more of the failure, there's more of the getting back up, there's more of the training the muscles to come back and do it and learn how to do it, right? That's the bike riding thing. You have to be able to learn how to sell yourself. Every good business. Why do you think all of these big time CEOs all have that Cadillac smile and that smooth voice? Because they know that's what humans respond to. They know, oh, I'm going to have a fantastic memory so I can meet somebody 6 months later and remember their name, first of all, how many children they have, all the names of their kids, the name of their wife, anything that was troubling them 6 months ago, and ask, has that fixed itself yet? To show that I'm really concerned. That's all a part of selling yourself. And the same thing online. You really have to know it online to be able to sell yourself, to sell your product, to go to social media and generate interest in your product. Online is a very good place to start if you want to, quote unquote, start a business. And you don't have to do network marketing or anything like that. You can make something at home and sell it online by yourself. There's plenty of people who have, quote unquote, eBay businesses. There's plenty of people on YouTube as a business. There's all tons of things. There are more things that you can do without buying land and constructing a building or leasing a building to starting a business. You don't have to start like that. There are multi-billion-dollar industries online. That goes back to my number 2 point of read. Read everything that you possibly can. Read everything that you possibly can. And you can learn all of this for free online. How fantastic is that we live now, that we can learn all of this online now for free. This is the best time in history to be a human. Just think, 60 years ago, it would be a pain in the butt to start a business. Now you can do it in your underwear. Thank you for watching the Shikama Live Show.